Good evening, everyone, and welcome to an extra Gundam news about the Autumn Gundam Conference. A conference that was all about everyone's favorite topic, the Gundam Metaverse. Now, it was also about a few other minor things as well. Something about a new anime, something about a movie coming out. But compared to the Metaverse, they got barely mentioned at all. It's like, yeah, they exist. But now on to the major topic of today, the Metaverse. So yeah, I'm also actually amazed at how little information, like how little new information they gave us in a 50-minute video. And if my intro didn't already give it away, I'm not really all that excited about the video at all. So let's talk about it. Like I already said, the main theme was the Metaverse, and Gundam's main goal with this thing is to connect with fans, or as I joked in the past, to connect with fans' wallets. Let's not kid ourselves here. And how are they going to do this? By focusing on user-generated content, which is client to client, or as it's also written, UCG and C2C, or in other words, things that are by the fans for the fans. Something you don't really need a metaverse for now, do you? Because, I mean, it's literally evidenced by this very video that you're watching right now. It's content created by a fan, me, for a fan, you. So yeah, are you sold on this idea of the metaverse yet, or are we just going to keep on doing what we're already doing? But of course, the example that they are using are pictures of Gunpla and how-to videos on how to make better Gunpla. Things that they then, of course, can link directly to the Gunpla store that is also in their metaverse. Now, they don't say that they're doing this right now or that they're going to do this, but again, let's not kid ourselves here. That is most definitely going to be the end goal. And in the Autumn Gundam Conference, they also announced that we'll be able to try out some of these features during a beta test from October the 6th to October the 17th, as long as you're living in the United States or Japan. Insert obligatory NordVPN advertisement. You can dodge these pesky region locks and get extra security online by using the code kkrt or the link down below. Not only will it give you a sweet discount, but to also be supporting the channel. So what will you actually be able to do during this beta test? Basically just the things that I already talked about in my previous video on the Metaverse. You can chat, which will somehow be supported by their AI mascot called Mello, so I do wonder how she's going to involve herself in that. You can visit the museum, which, going by their video, is just going to be a clunky 3D version of Instagram, but now only for Gundam, or, well, Gundam model kits in particular, so it's going to be a niche of a niche. There's going to be a store that sells limited edition Gunpla, because of course. There's going to be digital concerts. Fantastic. There's going to be digital dioramas, they're going to have card-ass machines, and last but not least, you'll also be able to watch the second season of Witch from Mercury and the new Gundam Build Metaverse. So, a clunky 3D version of YouTube. Yeah, to me, all of this just sounds like a whole lot of effort for a whole lot of nothing, almost like developing a new online video game and then shutting it down less than a year later. Like, sure, you did a thing, but at the end of the day, what was the point of it? So yeah, other than the things that we'll be able to do right now, they also talked about the things they're planning to add in the future. NFTs. They said it. They're gonna do it. It's no longer up in the air like in the past. There were hints that they might be doing it, but now they're going to be doing it. Bandai Namco Japan is going to implement NFTs, making it no longer a question of if, but a question of when. With the literal quote being, in order to record fans and user-generated activities, we will be developing a new fan community utilizing NFTs. So, you know that feeling where you read a sentence and you understand all of the individual words, but you don't understand the sentence itself? That's what I'm getting here. But the important thing here is NFTs. They're gonna be a thing. But yeah, you don't have to worry about anything because I found an article from August the 10th where I saw that Bandai doesn't want to implement them for speculative investment purposes and really wants to do it for the fans.
You serious?
Of course they want to do it for the fans. In the same article, they also say that Gundam Evolution will be part of the esports section of the Gundam Metaverse, so excuse me while I press that X button to doubt. So yeah, the one thing that I am certain of though is that they will in fact be able to create a new fan community if they go with NFTs. A new community that doesn't actually care about Gundam, but just cares about the NFTs. Another thing that I find absolutely hilarious and also incredibly sad at the same time is that in the past years, Bandai and Gundam have been going incredibly hard at promoting themselves as being environmentally friendly. Even in this video, they were still constantly talking about it. They've got this whole Gunpla recycling thing going on, they're educating school kids, they want to become like carbon emission neutral, for which they installed a shit ton of solar panels, and then they went ahead and said that they were gonna make NFTs. Something that is, of course, notoriously bad for the environment. Good job, Bandai. Nailed it. Perfect. But all of this was unfortunately a long time coming because do not forget the technical advisor for the Gundam Metaverse is Gaudi, or however you're supposed to pronounce it, a firm that specializes in Web 3.0 and NFTs. And Bandai, they weren't even trying to hide it or brush it under the rug or downplay it. No, they were proud to partner with them, and even in this video, they wore it like a badge of honor. Yeah, we are totally partnering with these guys. We are happy about it. So, no, I am absolutely not giving any benefits of the doubt here. The future of the Gundam Metaverse is looking increasingly bleak, as if their opening shot didn't already do enough for that feeling. As for the rest of the presentation, then they showed a trailer of Gundam Build Metaverse, which I will talk more about on Thursday. Some shtick about Gunpla recycling to deliver a message of a sustainable future, like cancer research, brought to you by Marlboro. And they talked about the upcoming Gundam Next Future event and what we can expect to see there. An early release of all Build Metaverse episodes, news for Gundam Seed Freedom, and Gunpla Battle VR. Now, unfortunately, they didn't really say anything here, but they did show an image that itself actually said a lot. It's like the one bright light in this entire video because this actually is something that could be cool. because it looks like a more developed version of the Gunpla battle that I got to try out at the Gundam VIP event at LAX last year. Like, back then, you just scanned an RX-78-2 in a dedicated scanning machine, and then it was imported into a fun but very basic video game. You fought some mobs and then killed the boss with very standard and basic moves. Again, basic, but fun. And here then, they've added VR into the mix, and hopefully also a more polished and finished video game. I'm guessing that the VR experience means that you'll be able to fly around your Gunpla in the hangar to experience it in all of its full-sized glory. But I do have one big question about the VR battle. They showed a Gundam in third person, and let's be real here. What is the point of having a VR Gundam game if you're not inside of the cockpit? It's cool that you can switch to third person as an option, but first person cockpit view should definitely be the default and the big selling point here. And talking about games, they once again announced that they are planning to continue to develop esports games for the video game section of the Gundam Metaverse. As in, multiple Gundam esports games are in development. And under normal circumstances, I would be happy with such an announcement, but with the way they handled Gundam Evolution, I would have been wary if they said they were working on one Gundam esports game, let alone multiples. And combine that with the closure of Gundam Breaker Mobile earlier on in the year, and well, Bandai is getting this not very great reputation amongst fans when it comes to keeping the Gundam games, when it comes to keeping the online Gundam games alive. And the real sore point here is that both Gundam Evolution and Gundam Breaker Mobile were very well received, giving the feeling that these games died before their time. And so instead of focusing on esports games, I feel like it would have been better for Bandai's reputation if they announced that they were making a very solid single-player Gundam game. Think something like Gundam 0081 or the Gundam Unicorn game that I recently did a video on. Or maybe even a port of one of the recent Gundam Versus games. Anything but go with an esports game, because if this fails again, I think people are already going to have a hard time giving them another chance now. So let's hope that this time around Bandai has a more positive esports adventure and that they can keep the marketing machine rolling more efficiently this time around. And that about wraps up my coverage of the Autumn Gundam Conference. I watched it, so you don't have to, but if you do want to watch the full thing, I will have it linked down below, as well as a trailer of the Gundam Build Metaverse anime, which you totally should watch. So yeah, as always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all on Thursday with more Gundam news.